YouTube, hello, it's Cello Ben. So, I have been sort of away from social media more or less compared to what I had been before. So, I am glad to be back. And I kind of want to share where I am right now in terms of what I've been up to and what I want to be up to going forward. This has been an unprecedented year for all of us. And it's just been so strange in so many ways. Now, I got very lucky in a lot of respects with still having some security during all of this. So I set to work on some projects pretty shortly after this all started. And I'm proud of what I've done. I created an online course with a companion course to go with it. I've developed 2 apps, started a website, started a blog, started a podcast, and I've been creating content for YouTube and Instagram. But once I sort of finished the majority of what I had set out to do, that was a couple of weeks ago or so, or a week or a little while ago, I lost some steam and I was floundering a bit. And I want to share a little bit about why and sort of how I want to move forward as a musician and as a cellist. So the first thing is that unfortunately when it comes to work and practicing and getting things done, my mind is sort of predisposed to work in this very binary fashion, which means that in my case, it's either on and I'm being super productive and I'm getting lots of stuff done and I'm sticking to a schedule, or it's off and I'm just sort of languishing and not getting anything done. Now, of course, we need to have our relaxation time to recharge and to deal with whatever we need to deal with, or whatever. But I think for me it's important to have a balance between the two parts of my mind, or parts of how I function. So it's time to make some resolutions this week, some of which are, personal resolutions that have nothing to do with cello, but some of which are musical resolutions that have to do with what I work on and what I put out online. So that's what I want to talk about today. A lot of what I've been doing has been focused on pedagogy, on teaching cello, teaching music, which is one of my great passions, especially in the blog, the courses, and both apps that I developed are pedagogical in nature. The first one is for clef practice, for sheet music reading for cellists. And the second is a sight reading app, which right now can help violinists and cellists practice their sight reading. I've curated libraries of music, put in a randomizer, you can get your tempo, and I'll hopefully be adding viola and bass into that mix soon. But here's the thing. I have been missing something visceral, which is the core of why I play music, and probably why most people play music. So the question is now, how do I get that back? Because I've been so focused on passing things along, giving practical tips, helping other people to learn new ways to play and make music and ways to improve themselves, that I haven't taken much time for myself as a musician in the most basic sense of it, and as a cellist. And I'm seeing some negative effects, which is that I feel myself sort of being distanced from the world of making music. So I need to get back to that. So here's what I want to do. Number 1, it's time to set some goals at the cello. Not goals for course creation or content creation or anything online or video, audio, whatever related. It's time to set goals that I sit down at the cello and work to accomplish. So first things first, I need a technique refresher. And I'm a big fan of, at least from time to time, heading back to the basics. So the basics is where I shall head. I want to spend a lot of time this week just really honing 3-octave scales and 4-octave arpeggios. That was a big part of my practice routine in high school, and as I got older and got more busy or whatever, they sort of crept out of my routine, and they need to come back. So that's thing number 1. Number 2 is revisiting the concept of looseness and trying to be more mindful of that. Again, this is something I've talked about endlessly with students and online, but it's something that I need to really practice what I preach in a better way right now. Because I feel myself, especially since I haven't been performing as much, when I do give some sort of public display of playing, I tend to get a lot tenser now that I'm sort of either lacking in recent experience with that or just I haven't been paying enough attention to it. But that's something that I need to work on too. So we've got scales and arpeggios for the left-hand technique especially, and some mindfulness for the general technique to be looser, be more relaxed, and make it so that I'm not as prone to injury in the future, because I don't want that happening. Next thing is, I want to learn some more repertoire. Even though I've had the privilege of playing a lot of amazing music throughout my life, throughout my career, there's so much more of it. So it's time to actually start a couple of new pieces, I think. I'm not sure what I'm going to start yet, but I'm opening it up down below. If you have any ideas in the comments section, let me know. You know, this pandemic seems to just be dragging on, and it's quite frustrating, of course, and absolutely devastating to a lot of people. And I have finally been seeing some glimmers of hope in the musical world with seeing some things that I had planned for the past being reimagined, rescheduled. So now that I'm seeing these glimmers of hope, it's motivating me a lot to really just go for it and start getting back into the swing of things. I want to get back to also performing little Reddit recitals, which I did a couple of times and had a lot of fun with. I had planned to make it a weekly thing, but that's one of the things that went by the wayside. So I want to get back to that and have some fun with some solo repertoire. And last thing is that I want to intersect the content creation that I've been doing with the zeal for enjoying the visceral parts of music. Because again, that visceral inner sensation of music is what I've been lacking a bit, and I might blog about that later. But for now, I want to make some more of those videos where I play along with myself, because those take some work, but they're so much fun. And I've got some new gear now, which is going to make making them a little bit easier. So I'm looking forward to that. So as we set goals for the future, it's important to work to realize them while also being kind to ourselves, of course, but I'm feeling much more motivated than I was before, and much more excited to just be making music. So I want to dedicate myself, especially in the coming weeks, in that vein, more to just purely making music and enjoying making music and sharing making music and all of that stuff. And I want to hear what you all have been up to during this, musically or otherwise. How have you been getting through it? What have you been playing, if anything? Or have you stumbled upon anything interesting in the repertoire, or started any new projects? Or let me know, again, down in the comments below. So, since I'm feeling all of this positivity regarding the work that I've been doing, I'm gonna try and run with it so that I can get back into just doing what I love. So I'm feeling ready to ramp it up. And I basically just wanted to say ramp it up because I learned how to create that fun little graphic and I really wanted to use it. Anyway, I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. Like I said, leave your comments, questions, anything down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and then shift into thumb position and hit that subscribe button and the bell for more Cello Ben videos on YouTube. If you dislike this video, you can hit that downvote button too, but I'd rather you didn't. Up to you though. Anyway, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. Take care.